How you guys doing? This is very important in reference to history and class of people. This is different in reference to, I'm friendly with different races and different religions of people and different financial classes of people, friendly acknowledgments. But in reference to me having to mention things so I can get home, these people that are blocking me are not from the same class that I'm from. They didn't go to the same schools I went to. These people are not, they weren't friends with my parents. These people, the reason why, so in reference to people that know me, people that are celebrities or entertainers or just common people, this is important for people to know that in reference to me having to mention certain information, it's so I can get home to the class of where I am from, such as my mother and father's mansions. So, in reference to the situation of people and people not understanding the situation, this is very important in reference to, in reference to people holding me hostage, because these people have tried to say these things like, "Oh, you don't deserve to be in a big mansion." Well, I'm from big mansions. My mother and father had big mansions. I was raised in big mansions. I grew up in big mansions that my grandfathers and mother and father owned. These people are trying to play this game of trying to downgrade my class that I was born into. I'm friendly with different races and different types of people. But, this is very important because these people have tried to make me look like a poor man. And then they tried to make me look like a poor man thinking that I didn't have a right being in the rich neighborhood of my mother and father's mansions. So in reference to mentioning class, this is very important. It's kind of like, people got their own family history and where they come from and the types of people and types of schools that they went to. This is very important. So in reference to these people that are holding me hostage, blocking me from my mother and father's mansions, these people claimed that they thought I came from the poor class. That's why they have to do a documentary and put it on YouTube and on the internet of where I am from, what schools I went to, what prestigious schools I went to. Hello, New York, Colorado, Texas, California, Beverly Hills schools. This is very important in reference to these people that are trying to misrepresent my identity. See, the person that's trying to steal my identity is trying to steal my lifestyle that I was born into. This person is trying to steal the class of where I went to school. They're trying to steal my education history and then trying to call me some dumb person or some slacker or some type of underachiever when I was a straight A student. Hello, Philharmonic Orchestra. Hello, how you doing? There was a song on the radio earlier. And hello in reference to classical music and rock and roll and other types of genres of music, And in reference to these people trying to blame me because their family wasn't from the same class of my family. People holding me hostage, people stealing from me, people trying to steal my mother and father's mansions. People trying to steal my revenues and monies that I was supposed to receive from my mother and father's companies and my grandparents' companies and my trust funds and lawsuit monies and benefits. In reference to them injuring me, in reference to them holding me hostage, in reference to them trying to downgrade my physical attributes, these people have to get prosecuted. Never had plastic surgery. My teeth are real. My penis is real. They tried to steal from my penis. My penis has been documented my whole life. My DNA type, purple blood, has been documented my whole life. And these people have tried to play this trick of trying to steal my identity by stealing my blood. And there are people stealing documents and trying to forge things. Those people need to go into court. These people are blocking me from my mother and father's mansions And then they got some man that came from some lower class of people that's trying to steal my identity, that's trying to live on my mother and father's property. This government man that's holding me hostage. It's illegal for the government to be using political positions to steal. That is misrepresentation of the position of government. These people blocking me from my mother and father's mansions. These people stealing cars that I was supposed to have received. These people blocking me from revenues and residuals that I was supposed to have received. These people blocking me from having relationships with a girlfriend or a wife of potential acknowledgments. Or, these people blocking me from my friends. Who are these people to think they had any right doing these things? I have seniority in my class that I come from in reference to my mother and father's wealth, my grandparents' wealth. So in reference to people in the media, people need to acknowledge the mansions that I grew up in. The history of my mother and father and me traveling around the world. The history of my family and the media history of my mother and father and grandparents. These people are trying to play this game like a fish out of water or something. These people kidnapping me from my mother and father's mansions, and then these people making up these lies and tricks trying to confuse my identity. This is not fair. They're blocking me from where I belong, and then they're trying to steal what I'm the owner of, and then they tried to move in to my lifestyle and my identity of who I am while these people are blocking me. They're ripping me off. It is a disgrace what these people are doing. They have no legal right, no position of legal right, and no legal right to be using government monies to fund people and to be paying people to be blocking me from my rights of my mother and father's mansions or my family history or trust funds or revenues. This is very serious violations of these people. They have no legal right. They don't belong in my mother and father's mansions. I do. These people have no history of my mother and father's mansions. I was raised in my mother and father's mansions and my grandparents' mansions. They must have with my mouth. My grandparents' mansions. This is very serious. All these activities of these people trying to call me a poor man, trying to call me a bum, holding me hostage, stealing millions of dollars of monies that I was supposed to have received, and billions. It's not fair. It's not right. It's not legal. That's why the media needs to find out what position somebody is in government that has been blocking me, that trespassed on my mother and father's properties when they had kidnapped me. I went to school in Beverly Hills. They kidnapped me from my mother and father's mansions in Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills is a private neighborhood, and Bel Air. Still being held hostage after 26 plus years. These people are blocking me from my mother and father's mansions in other cities and states. It is illegal for them to be conspiring against the system of government in America. These people holding me hostage, slandering my character, physically assaulting me, and sexually abusing me with their satellites and other things they tried to do. They have no legal position. All those activities are grounds for dismissal of their position and impeachment from their positions in government. Roll protocols in the media 24 hours a day. It's been there the whole time since I was born. And these people try to make up lies saying, oh, they thought your parents gave them something. No. It's the estate of my parents is documented through bloodline history, 100% bloodline. And I'm the only 100% bloodline of my mother and father and grandparents. So people need to go into court in hello, friendly countries, hello, Korea, China, Japan, Asia, and Malaysia, and Thailand, Taiwan, hello Mexico and Canada and other friendly countries, and hello America, hello friendly countries around the world. Lots of things of importance.